Last night, for the second time this week, First Church Universalist pastor Reverend Mike Donovan held an interfaith church service attended by more than 10 people, a direct violation of Virginia Governor Ralph Northam's Executive Order 55, which states that gatherings of more than 10 people, including religious gatherings, can result in misdemeanor charges being brought against the organizers and participants.
Domineering. He was a guy everyone wanted to listen to. The people that were in power were terrified of Jesus. Why? He didn't have money, he didn't have wealth, he didn't have land, but he had the people. He had the heart and the ear of the people.
This service was attended by more than 20 people, but just like the church's Mother's Day service that was attended by 14 people resulted in no arrests, last night's service resulted in no arrests as well. Mike Donovan said the Harrisonburg Police Department told him if he held the first service that he would be arrested. He said that upset him and he called out the Harrisonburg Police Department for the threat. But after last night's service was allowed to go off without a hitch, Donovan complimented Harrisonburg Police Chief Eric English for allowing him and his congregation to exercise their constitutional rights.
I want to thank Chief English for clearly deciding that he's going to follow the Constitution and not an unconstitutional order by a governor. I think we should give Chief English a round of applause, actually. I think the fact that the police decided to respect the faith community enough to not break this up. Even if they were to send me a ticket or charge me later, the fact that they didn't break this up, they didn't stop us from coming together, is in and of itself evidence that the restrictive measures that have been being enforced are not necessary. They're not necessary because free people can make choices about themselves and their health and their safety, and they should. With freedom comes responsibility. You take that responsibility away, you take that freedom away too.
Reverend Donovan said his church has existed for more than 6 years, but chose to move from a physical location to focus on outreach. But now the church is back in a physical location at 785B East Market Street in Harrisonburg, Virginia, and will hold regular Sunday morning and Wednesday evening services.
I think it's important that people understand the importance of gathering and communing together, but also being safe. It's incredibly important that people understand that as a pastor, I am not advocating people not following social distancing guidelines, not taking care of themselves, not making sure that they're clean and that they're disinfecting. That makes total sense. We should do that more in the face of this pandemic, and the government should help us. We should have access to PPE. We should have access to those things. That's got to be our focus. Our focus shouldn't be on making rules that restrict people's liberty, because you have to get people to buy in. We're a free people. You got to get people to buy in to do the right thing. The right thing is being safe. Don't get sick. But in not getting sick, don't lose what it is to be a free person. Take care of your loved ones that are particularly susceptible, but don't give up your right. And when the government says you can't meet to worship or can't go to the hair salon, and you have a salon and your business is being destroyed, you have a right. And you need to exert those rights. If we don't stand up for our rights, the rights don't exist.
I reached out to Harrisonburg Police Chief Eric English, asking him several questions, including whether or not the reason that his department decided not to interrupt Donovan's service or arrest him was because he too believes the governor's executive order is unconstitutional. As of press time, the chief has not answered my question. In Harrisonburg, Theodore Whitelow, Breaking Through News.